I want to talk about this $400,000 assistant job. I have to talk about this. So let me pull it up. This one I do want to pull up for just a second so you can see what I see in terms of this whole assistant thing because I don't think even though these folks are can be highly paid, I didn't realize how highly paid, but they can be really highly paid for their work. I just don't know if I personally would do it. So this is the story here. Hopefully you can see it. $400,000 to be an assistant, right? So they're saying being an executive assistant takes some serious talent and knowledge. One might need to know all about the NASDAQ. Another should probably consider becoming a sommelier while making sure the boss's favorite vintage is on the chartered jet. And still another must love dogs. In this tight labor market, that's why getting a job as an EA could pay upwards of $400,000 according to the Wall Street Journal. They're willing to pay those salaries, but it's really all about them. So that's coming from an executive assistant recruiter. So I want to get into the article from Wall Street Journal. I'm going to take this away for a second. What does this article like actually talk about? So it's actually highlighting this. I want to show you this image just because it's kind of cute and I like it. So I'm going to share it. And I've also recruited for similar jobs, and I do know that you can get paid well as an executive assistant. So this is the actual article by the Wall Street Journal. Paying $400,000 from an executive assistant. Do it all aides are pricier than ever. Wealthy executives are shelling out six figures for sophisticated aides, smart enough to handle complicated tasks, yet humble enough to take on tedious ones. So before we get into this, though, I do just want to highlight, I'm going to put this in the chat. I do want to highlight this. Um, Listen, I feel like you have to have a really tough skin to do this job and really deal with some weird personalities and be comfortable seeing things that you won't see on a day-to-day basis, right? By the way, do you like my image of Rihanna back here? This is an Amazon purchase, a random Amazon purchase. I bought Rihanna and I also bought Aaliyah. I bought two Aaliyah frames and I bought this canvas because I didn't plan on putting it right here. I want to actually put it somewhere in my apartment, but I don't know. I thought it fit because she's definitely a boss babe, and so I was feeling it. Anyway, that's Rihanna. Just FYI. Okay, so I feel like you have to have really tough skin to do this type of job. And it's not just executives that would be an assistant that are really high paying, but you could be like a celebrity assistant, which I definitely don't think I would do unless it's a particular person. It's like it would have to be like a B list or C list celebrity, maybe. Maybe they wouldn't be quite as demanding. I don't know. But you could be a celebrity assistant, you could be an executive assistant, which means you'll be supporting a specific, senior executive at an entertainment company or whatever company, right? And then you could also be an assistant for a wealthy family. So there's elite families, billionaires, millionaires that want someone to manage their house staff, like, the chef and the maid and the whatever. They want someone to manage it. They don't want to think about anything. And then they want you to book their private jet. They want you to manage their fleet of expensive cars. They want you to basically be on call for whatever their needs are. It kind of reminds me of that movie with Meryl Streep with the girl, Anne Hathaway's character, and she was just doing whatever, getting coffee, getting these weird things, getting stuff for her kids, getting this random Harry Potter book for because of her kids, and just taking her on these random like random tasks. That is what I literally imagine for the assistants. And then of course with executive assistants, that could be a random amount of things too, because you're kind of their person. Like you make my life easier, whatever that means, right? Um, so this is not like an office assistant. It's more of a high end type of experience. And I actually almost joined a company that basically had these type of services where they were concierge and they managed the elite folks. And I was going to be a recruiter, hiring people that would work within this company. But yeah, that was my first kind of foray into the space of just luxury assistance and how it could be a thriving, this thriving space where you can make a lot of money. Okay, so let's get into the article. I do want to look into this because I haven't read the full article. So they're saying in the penthouse of society, there's a crisis, no one to charter the jet, too few aides with the versatility to navigate earnings reports along with a wine list. And for heaven's sake, who is going to scoop the papillion poop? Look, I'm not scooping up. No, no. But again, like for the assistant, you have to have that type of attitude, like you're willing to do whatever. Fifi pooped on the sofa, you're taking care of it, right? Some people are not doing that. They're just not going to do it, no matter what you pay them. So this says the labor shortage afflicting many businesses is also disrupting the affairs of ultra high net worth individuals who the old lament, good help is hard to find, has seldom been so true. In search of executive assistants equally adept at preparing for board meetings and managing housekeepers and chauffeurs, many are asking staffing services to recruit for a loftier title, chief of staff. So, this chief of staff is the person that manages the staff, basically. Not to be confused with a chief of staff in terms of HR or human resources. That's different because you could see a chief of staff that basically leads a talent development group within a company, and they're not doing any of this, of course. But I think that's why there's always these shifts in job titles with talent development. There's so many different titles that I've seen since I've even been working. I'm sure even before I started into the industry, but just want to make that clear. So they're saying it is a job that demands a rare combination of competence and humility, of course, because you have to do all these random things. One agency told me about placing someone who holds a PhD in a role that involves high level administrative work and fetching coffee. Can you imagine telling someone, okay, they're applying to this job out of college, they have a PhD in, I don't know, data science or something, and you're like, okay, so the job duties could be anything. You're going to have to handle their reports. You're going to have to build dashboards for their leadership meetings. And then you're also going to have to get them coffee, make sure their clothes are ready, make sure their dog is taken to the groomer, like random things, right? You just need to take care of that person, basically. Can you imagine telling that to someone that has a PhD? You just have your PhD. I know you have a PhD, sir, but I'm gonna need you to scoop up Fifi's, you're gonna need to scoop up Fifi's poop. Sorry. So it's an interesting job. It's definitely interesting. So they did highlight one agency told, basically a scenario of this person that they have a PhD, and it's in a role that involves high level administrative work and fetching coffee. The going rate for such overqualified aides is about $200,000 a year. Now, these are in major cities like New York and LA. Staffing specialists say those with records are making the busiest lives simpler. Like you have experience, you've been here before, you got this. They can command as much as $300,000 or even $400,000 a year. Basically, to just be your boss's on call, like 24/7, I need you, whatever person. So that girl, that assistant Anne Hathaway played in, what is the name of that movie? I can't, oh, The Devil Wears Prada. So in that The Devil Wears Prada movie, that girl, she could have been getting paid, I don't know, $300,000 to be an assistant because I think they were in New York. So you can get paid to do that. They're willing to pay those salaries, but it's really all about them, says Teresa Lee, whose firm scouts top tier assistants for the uber wealthy. hmm So, with great pay comes great sacrifice. Now, this is something I wanted to note out because, yes, if you're going to be someone's on-call person, how are you gonna have a boyfriend or girlfriend, husband and a wife, children, a pet, plants, just anything, like outside activities, hobbies, trips that you wanna take, your dreams and aspirations, like, no, you're probably not gonna have time for that because you're trying to if you're a good assistant, you're likely going to be thinking ahead so that you can make this person's life easier. Oh, your nephew's such and such event is coming up, or your son's whatever event is coming up. I got to plan for them and I got to do this for them. Being in their head and sometimes even managing their communications and knowing how they talk and all of that. It's very interesting. It's an interesting job from that angle, right? But at the same time, who is willing to make that sacrifice? So if you're whenever there's a job where a person has to make a lot of sacrifices or you need a high amount of talent or ability or knowledge, whatever, of course you're gonna have to pay the price. I'm gonna just pause. I want to see the comment from Sharky. Hi, Smart Aviation. Shout out to Smart Aviation, of course. We got to highlight the channel. There's definitely a dark side. You can't have the good without the bad. So they're saying in here, with great pay comes great sacrifice. Some hires quit within 72 hours. And I bet the reason for that is because you have to have really tough skin. Imagine working with someone that is used to just hearing yes, 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 sir, yes, ma'am, right? Or working with wealthy families that are they've never had to hear no in their life, right? They just have people to just do it, right? Or for celebrity assistants, they have, they have lives that have a lot of pressure, right? So they're gonna if they are stressed out, they've gotta release that energy somewhere. They're likely not gonna want to release it to their family. That's probably gonna come out to the assistant, and that's a key reason why I don't think I would do that job. I don't need anyone yelling at me, I don't want a toxic work environment, because oftentimes folks that even work at startups and things, they would like to work at a larger company because there's a little more structure. There's checks and balances in place. They're making sure, employees are happy. They're not working in a toxic workplace. People can't just throw computers around or do any weird instances to make it, a workplace is just not comfortable. So if you think about a small business or family or, anything like that where you're just working with one person or a small group of people, who knows what's going on, right? That's my view. I can imagine the personalities. Like, could you really do that, Sharky? Like, you gotta tell me, would you really? Like, we're gonna talk through the downside, but would you really do that job thinking about all that you have to deal with? For me, I just like I like having a soft life. Like, I just don't want the stress. I don't think I could do it. So this is what she's saying. Some hires quit within 72 hours of being an executive assistant, owing to the unpredictable schedule. Again, you're 24/7 you're on call. So if someone, let's say, or Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk says, "Hey, I need this piece of artwork from this place. It opens at 7 a.m. I need you to get that, and then I need you to handle my kids this, and then I need you to review this report for me. Then, this evening I'm going to go to an event. I need you to get me a car, and then I need you to be there with me at the event helping me remember everybody's name and this like who knows?" It's like, would you want that? Would you really want that life? I don't know. Some people would live for it because what you would get is, I'm sure, plenty of mentorship. You get to see them day in, day out, and really get a sense of the business space. I'm sure you're learning from them directly, right? So there's that. That's like a really big plus factor, is just to be in the midst of everything that they do. Who else could get that experience? So that's a plus side. So Miss Lee says they have a rigorous travel, an endless to-do list, unpredictable schedule, sense of loneliness, because again, how in the world are you going to have friendships thriving and family relationships thriving and have a pet, have hobbies if you're married to this person basically because you're really serving their every need. Um it says that it can set in when someone is close to but distinctly separate from an elite class of people. Yeah, you're not a part of this world. You have to, support them, but that's not your lifestyle. Miss Lee says she tries to get employers to agree to limits on what the people she places can be asked to do. Serving martinis like a butler or cleaning dog do off a roof deck. Real requests from clients, she says, fall outside of chief of staff duties in her view. Just about anything else is fair game. Hmm. Several factors combine to create a fantastic market in which do it all assistants are extra pricey and ripe for poaching, according to those that do these jobs to earn commission. So it sounds like they have a lot of poaching happening. So poaching is recruiters looking at this agency. They know this agency hires top-notch executive assistants, so they need to get someone from here, right? And then once they get that person from there, then this company, they're going to do the same thing to another agency, basically. That happens a lot with FANG companies. We got to have someone for Amazon. Well, we pull someone from Amazon. Oh, well, we got to get someone from Netflix. Well, we pull someone from Netflix. We got to get someone from Google. And then we got to get someone from Meta. Like it's this endless kind of cycle. The same thing happens within the media industry, right? The same thing happens within the celebrity and entertainment space. It's just kind of this endless cycle. Sometimes, not every job, but you know, that's kind of the ideal scenarios. We got someone from this top-notch place as our competitor. So they hire folks for these jobs. They earn commission, sometimes 30 to 40% of an aide salary. Now that's key in the recruitment world. If you're working in an agency, and this is why agency recruiters, I keep saying, they make bank in comparison to corporate recruiters because corporate recruiters, we're going to have a salary. Some jobs, like I've been in a job before where I had a salary and then I had bonus pay on top of that, which was, whoo, I missed that setup. I missed that setup um, a little bit. And then, there's the staffing agency side where you place someone, they're making, let's say I place an executive assistant, they're making $350,000. Well, then I'm going to get 40% of that, or 30% of that, or 20% of that, whatever that number is, right? So recruiting is a really cool industry to be in, and it's fun. It's like it's matchmaking in my head. So by filling the job, you can get that percentage. So they're saying certain secretarial tasks, once performed by executive assistants, like answering phones, shuffling papers, can be automatic. It's digital. Like you see the virtual assistants and things. There's so much you can digitize now. That has led to a steep drop in numbers of these positions because imagine that's what people want to do, right? People are fine with being in office, shuffling some papers around, checking your schedule, booking your stuff online. But outside of that, they want to have their life. They want to be able to log off at 5 or 6 or whatever and okay, see you tomorrow. Don't call me. Adios. I don't want to hear from you. I will see you tomorrow. I'll be bright and early, ready to work. But this is my time now. Which, yes, I agree with. You would need some balance. But with an executive assistant, are you really going to get a lot of that balance? Is the question. Okay, so they're also saying um, those that remain in the industries are increasingly advanced. Now, this is another staffing firm person. They're at Robert Half. That's a great staffing firm. Multi-million dollar earners, always highly mobile or even less tethered to offices in the Rona age. They want right hand helpers who can dart from professional to personal matters with ease and with the most utmost discretion. So, yeah, you're going to sign non disclosures. Beyonce talked about that. You got to sign a non disclosure, right? Shortly before the pandemic, Another executive assistant, this one is Alyssa Akio. They left a job that included ordering stationery, stocking the office fridge with Diet Dr. Pepper, the boss's favorite. She now works remotely as a senior executive assistant at Upwork, a freelance network, and is free from such menial tasks. I mean, honestly, stocking a fridge and ordering stationery doesn't sound that bad compared to what someone could be doing, right? That sounds pretty normal to me. And most office assistants are going to do that. So she says she feels more like a business partner to her executive, offering input on certain projects, and she outsources shopping to Amazon and Instacart. That seems like more of a professional job, right? That sounds like something that requires more intellectual capability, right? Let me see what you guys are saying. Sharky says, Jess, you might be right. Can't put a price on our dignity. Right. Did you see the movie The Upside? It's similar in a way to what you're describing. Working as an assistant for Elon Musk would be difficult. I can't even imagine that scenario. However, I think working with someone that is, ahead of whatever is a creative type or is a entrepreneur, I think that could be worthwhile, even if you told yourself like, hey, I'm just going to do this job for 6 months and learn everything I can, be the best assistant I can be, and form a good relationship with this person and see where this gets me. A lot of times with the executive assistant, especially in the entertainment space, that's kind of that stepping stone for someone to move into being like a producer or doing something else, right? They want to learn from someone that has a entertainment group or marketing group or whatever. They want to learn as much as they can, and even if they have to do whatever task, it's fine, whatever. I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm getting inside knowledge. I am this person's right hand man. There's a little bit of prestige that comes with that, right? So that's that would be the upside. And I've seen that just in my work as a recruiter and working with other like executive assistants. There's kind of that prestige that comes with it. I'm their assistant. You have to flow everything through me. Okay, I love the little very glitzy images they have in this article, by the way. So, this is the question they asked this person. Could she ever go back to the occasional tedium of aiding someone in person? This is what this lady said. She's 29 years old. She just said, I don't think so. Finding millennials and Gen Zers to replace aging assistants. Yeah, because some folks are retiring. So, how are they going to find people? That's proving to be a challenge. So they're saying they've heard younger people say, I would never do what you do. This is from Tiffany Mon, a 51-year-old executive assistant to a CEO of a consulting group. It's almost like they don't understand working in a service capacity for another human being. As long as it's legal, as long as it's safe, there's never a no.